Good evening. It is the 22nd of October, Wednesday, 2025, and over the last 4 weeks, I have experienced a huge shift within my business, and as a result, a very positive change. This year has been a bit of a roller coaster. Like, we've had periods where we've grown, periods where we've got complacent, periods where we've not had any growth at all, and it feels like something has changed permanently within the business. A lot of it is down to the compounding effect of like working on this for a long time, building out different systems over the course of months, building my own like content ecosystem, getting better at ads, that sort of stuff. So like skill set, technical stuff. But the biggest shift has been internal, like all internal. That has been the difference. So like I said, we're 22 days into this month. We've closed on £9,500 in revenue. We still have opportunity value within my pipeline of around £18,000, and I'm pretty confident I can at least sign 1, 2 more clients by the end of this month. So currently over $12,000 so far, and I believe that we can finish around like 18. I'm pretty confident of that. But last month we had a really poor month, and the month before that we were building like delivery systems for scale and that sort of thing. So we still had kind of a poor month. The month before that we signed like a very good client, sort of a very big client, but we were sort of comfortable once we signed him. So it was sort of like I put my foot off the gas. But like I said, we've had a huge change this month, and the main thing has been internal that has changed this. And it's basically come down to a couple of things. So the first thing is you have to be aware. This is just what I've been sort of like reflecting on. You have to be aware that all bottlenecks are at the top of the bottle. So in other words, you have to take full responsibility for whatever is happening within your business at any given time as a founder. It doesn't matter what business you're in. And I've learned this through basically doing this wrong, or not being aware of it, or not taking responsibility. But even if it's like stuff that's going wrong or going right, or just you're in a maintenance phase, everything is down to the founder at the top of the bottle. That is the point of the most restriction. So I've heard people say before, your business is a direct reflection of the current state of the founder. And that's really important to be aware of. So the main thing that I have realized, and I have been asking myself this question every single day for the last month, and it's actually evoked a change, which has then led to growing the business. But essentially this question is, am I performing like a business owner making this much money every month? And it's a question that I've never really asked myself before on a daily basis, but just asking that question in the morning or the evening makes you way more aware of it. And then you're aware of your behavior, of the stuff you are doing or the stuff you aren't doing that is relating to the fact that your business isn't growing. The second thing that has led to an immense change within my business over the last month is a routine. Now, I say this as someone who has tried every routine under the sun, not being consistent at different routines for more than like 2 weeks, but most routines just didn't feel like they stuck. And that's because they were too complicated. I've been through the whole thing where you sort of do routines that are like every minute of the day is optimized and all that rubbish, which isn't sustainable, and a lot of it is just bollocks that's online. Then I've had like periods of time where I've had no routine, and I've just gone like, oh, I'll go with the flow of the day and that sort of thing. But I'd say most consistently, my day would basically look like putting out fires, getting distracted, having way too much on my to-do list. Because of that, being overwhelmed, not actually getting anything done, or not getting what I wanted to get done that day that's going to grow my business. Like by the end of most days, I'd be sat there thinking, I've been so busy today, but I don't feel like I've done anything that's moved my business forward. So the routine that I've basically implemented over the last 4 weeks and I've not done this every single day, but this is happening most days of the week now, is super simple. So the first thing is I've been getting up earlier to get myself a few hours of complete silence where I can think, where I can set intention for the day, where I can get high priority revenue generating tasks done. So, I mean, at the minute, it's 5 a.m. I'm waking up most days of the week. Then I'll fanny about, set some intention, get hydrated, that sort of thing, do some reading. And then I get an hour of just like confronting a really important task that's going to grow my business, usually like creative. And I'll get that done at 6 a.m. And then after that, I'm trying to like have this period of time after 6 a.m. where I work out or something like that. But at the minute I'm not, I might take the dog on a walk and then I'll get back, have a shower. And then I follow with 3 hours split into two 90-minute blocks of just 1 to 2 things max. Again, that's going to grow the business. So working on ads, working on a YouTube video, working on like organic content, working on a sales process, something that's going to grow the business. Doing warm outreach or something like that if you don't have a setter. I have a setter now, but even still you need to be sort of like on top of that process. And then basically this sort of section of my routine finishes at 12. So from pretty much 6 a.m. until 12 p.m. midday, I know that I have got everything done that I need to get done that day that's going to grow my business. And technically, in my calendar, after 12 p.m, it's completely open. Like there's no other blocks. It's just completely free. So then, after I know I've done everything, it then gets filled with whatever comes next. Or if nothing's up next, if I haven't got sales calls in the afternoon or I haven't got client calls in the afternoon, then it's filled by client work, or I could literally just go and chill. But I don't. But you have the option because you know you've got everything done before 12. So that routine, and then obviously also preparing for the day ahead, the night before, has been like massive. Because when I don't prepare for the day after, I'm not fucking getting up at 5 a.m. Like, trust me. Whereas when I do prepare for it, mentally, subconsciously, whatever, I always get up. So the routine has been a huge part of it. Now, the other thing has just been like, I don't know if you believe in God or anything like that. I do. And one thing I've been trying to do is just commit more to God, like properly. And I have felt something weird, I can't explain, but the last couple of weeks has just felt different within me. Like I've been able to detach myself from bad habits and stuff like that just by seeking God way more frequently and being way more aware of his presence and that sort of stuff. And when I say like getting closer to God, I'm not talking about praying that God will make my business grow or anything like that. I haven't done that once. More so just praying and sort of seeking my own development, as in being a better brother to my brother, who is also my business partner, being a better son, being a better friend, asking for God's guidance, basically. Obviously, God can steer your vessel, but you're the one who has to row. Most of the time this year, like, I've either not rowed or whatever, but yeah, God can guide you when you seek him, but you are the one who has to actually take the action and commit to that. But yeah, basically through seeking God and that sort of stuff, I've been very conscious every day of also like trying to deny myself in the hopes of putting others before me, filling up the cups of others instead of my own. And when I say others, I mean my business partner, my brother Harvey, my parents, my friends, my clients, and my future potential clients. And everybody who like watches my content for free value as well. This has like changed my life because I've always believed that the more you give in this world, the more you inevitably receive. And when you put others first, good things come your way. Like that's just how the universe works, I think. And every time I've tested that, it's happened. But essentially, part of denying myself as well, when I've been thinking about this, has also been like denying my current emotions in that moment. And that's helped me be more disciplined. So not necessarily seeking pain or anything like that, but seeking or just accepting that in order to grow, I need to sacrifice something in any given moment. So like in any given moment, when I have to do some work, more than like 9 times out of 10, going on my phone and scrolling or like watching Netflix or YouTube is going to be easier and sort of more desirable to my brain than getting on with a piece of work. Less so now because I'm really enjoying like the work I'm doing because I've sort of got things much improved since a couple months ago. But I hope you get that point. It's probably a rubbish point. But essentially, yeah, denying yourself in that moment of comfort, of like pleasure, of dopamine, whatever it is, so that you can basically serve others. And those few things alone are so simple, but they have had a like you won't believe the effect and the change it's had, like internally within the business, within me, everything like that. So just understand that the bottleneck is always you, and you need to sometimes put a mirror in front of you in order to see what the bottlenecks are, and you need to like reflect and think and that sort of stuff. So you must look internally if you're going through like a rough patch within the business, if you're not growing, if you're struggling to grow, because when you start to do that and you're aware of those things, then you can start to implement simple things like a simple routine to get what you need to get done first half of the day, like a simple way of dealing with getting more disciplined. And yeah, those few things will make a huge impact to your life as they have done for me. And now I just need to make sure that I maintain and am consistent with these things, because I certainly know like if I turn my back on what I've talked about in this video, even for just like a week or two, I won't be the person like at the level of operating a business that I want to operate, and as a result I probably won't grow if I stop doing those things. So now I've actually achieved those things, and now that we've seen the effect of it, it's just about consistency. But I know I'm waffling on now, so I hope you've gained some clarity or like some value from those few points, and I hope it helps. See you later.